Hey everybody, it's Jess with Soul Be Home. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this tutorial on some Hobby Lobby frames. I actually found them on clearance, so hopefully if you want to do this project, you can as well. My first step is to remove the glass from both of the frames, and then I'm just cleaning them with a little alcohol swab, and then I'll be wiping over them with a glass cloth, which is just something I use to clean my mirrors at home. And this is actually the part that goes inside. I'm going to be doing reverse painted glass first. So I just need to make sure that it's nice and clean before adding some paint. I have some new stencils that just came out and I'm trying to just decide which one. I think I like this one. I'm using some black multi-surface paint and I start with a little dabber sponge type applicator. But I'll switch to a brush because it wasn't getting into the little cursive words and dots very well, which you can see right here. It's just more of the Harlequin pattern. And if you've seen my videos, you know that when I use a stencil, I pretty much always spray it first with a little stencil adhesive. When I am doing reverse painted glass, I do not spray it because I don't want any of the adhesive to show up on my glass. Now that does make it a little bit trickier, especially since glass is such a slick surface to work on, but the adhesive transferring over to my design is not something that I wanted to risk. So my paint has fully dried on both of my glass panels and I'm moving them outside to spray with a mirror gold spray paint finish. I have a bottle of vinegar right nearby. So after getting basically full coverage on both of my glass panels, I'm just taking my vinegar and I am applying this heavily. I wanted a very grungy look. And the vinegar spots are going to be showing up on the other side. I let them sit for a little while and then I go back and blot them with a little shop towel. So I love how this is looking. You can kind of see the little age spots. But now I want to cover it with another color. I picked this because I'm keeping in mind how my frame looked. And if you recall, it had a little faux wood that was similar to this driftwood color. I didn't want to do black and risk losing my stencil design. So this looks really nice in the glass and that part's actually done. I'm going to go ahead and put it back into my frames. So now I've grabbed some molds that I think I plan to use. If you've watched any of my videos, I kind of build as I go. That's why I am over pouring sometimes and kind of building, seeing what looks good together. I also don't like to waste resin, so I'm always going to pour into any mold that's nearby and knowing I'll eventually use those pieces at some point. So for my dragonfly, which is kind of a steampunk dragonfly, it's got some little gears on it, super cool. I want the wings to be bent up. So this is very freshly poured. After around 10 minutes, I go ahead and demold and then I'm just popping those wings up with some paint brushes so that it will continue to harden in this shape. Sometimes if you don't demold in time and you need to move something that's resin, you can heat it up and bend it again. I think it's a lot easier to do right away. And this is amazing casting resin in white. I'm just doing a rough layout. I love to do Alice with the bird in her hand, but we're going to put a chess piece under her instead of my usual mushroom. And these will be painted with different watered down acrylics. So they need a primer layer of gesso first. So I'm just applying that, actually 2 coats of that on all of my resin pieces. I'm letting these fully dry and then moving on to painting with watered down acrylics. It's just a little bit of water I'm squirting onto my paint tray. I love painting these resin pieces and seeing them come to life. I really love how these castings turned out and the pop of color they're going to bring to these frames. I'm just going to apply them to the glass with Titebond Clear Quick and Thick glue very carefully and lightly so I don't have a lot of glue seeping out underneath the molding. I have a pack of these silicone paint pens that I use to apply the glue and also to try to go ahead and get that excess glue out of there before it starts to dry. It's going to be especially important for me to do a rough layout again on the Alice piece since I have 3 different moldings going on the glass. I don't want to have to readjust once a piece has glue on it. It was pretty difficult to try to get a good video of how they turned out because glass is so reflective, but I did my best and I hope you really enjoyed and are inspired by this tutorial. Thank you for sticking around and watching it. Have an awesome week. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for being here.